Well, hello. This is another little impromptu unboxing. Hadn't really planned to do this, but this is kind of I'm going to say the curse, isn't it? The curse. This is the downside of having equipment like this come to you is I want to just unbox it and get into it and have a play. And then Owen will say, we really should do an unboxing of this. So here we are. So what is it that we've got for you today? This is a bit different for me. We don't tend to do phone equipment. But we've got a project coming up in a few weeks' time that is requiring us to, using Ecamm, we're going to be having a presenter that's running around doing this kind of treasure hunt thing, quite exciting. And I need to be able to follow them. And we were looking at different ways of doing this with the camera and HDMI transmitters like we've got up there. But we just said, I think the easiest way to do this is for me to come into Ecamm as a guest and have an iPhone with me, but I don't really want to just hold the iPhone. I feel like I need to have some equipment and to have a little rig. Initially, I thought, do I go and get a gimbal and get a nice steady shot as I'm going? But this is going to be in an evening. We need to have some light. We need to attach a microphone to it, and I can't do all that onto a phone and have it as part of a gimbal. So this seemed to be the best option that's available, and I reached out to SmallRig and they very kindly sent me this through to have use of. And so, yeah, what do you think to this? Let's have a look. Certainly really nicely packaged up here. This is what it is, all-in-one video kit for smartphone creators. And as you can see, I kind of looked at that and thought, yeah, I like the look of this. It's got some nice handles on it. There's plenty of brackets and things. And actually with this kit, it comes with a light and with a microphone. A little small shotgun mic on there. I think we're probably going to be using the little lapel Rode Go mics, but great to have this and have a look at it anyway. And by the looks at it, there's a little stand in there as well. So let's get into this. Let's have a look at it and see what we think to it. Oh, yes. Thank you, Owen. I did also mention in the email to SmallRig, I said, if you've got any other lights that you think could be relevant to this and helpful, and very kindly, they sent us along this little RM75 to have a look at too. In fact, we're going to have a look at this one first because Owen spotted on here that it's app controlled. So we're going to open this one up and then he's going to have a look at setting this up on the app while we're opening this one up. So hold fire just a minute. Now, if I change this camera over and we can have a look at what we've got here. Firstly, how smart is that? It's like a nice little Apple product, I think, the way this is packaged. And liking this whole thing on here. Can you see that? SmallRig, big dream. So what have we got in here? Here it is. This is the light. As you can see, if I put my phone next to it, you get a feel for the size of this. Very smart. Kind of, what do you call that on the back there? Like a titanium sort of look. Is that? No, it's not the word I'm after. Carbon fibre. Thank you, Owen. Anyone else think Owen should be doing this? So here we go. Here's our little light. And have we got any charge in it? Yes, that's pretty cool. A nice little display on the back of here. In fact, let me change this over to the front camera there. And you can have a look. That's probably even clearer, actually. So this is what's going on the other side of it. And I've got a Type-C charger input on the top, which we like. Simple on and off and then set. And I'm guessing this is kind of press it in and rotate it. Yeah. Do I want to Bluetooth reset? Right, I'm going to pass this over to Owen. Owen, you have a look at this. Let's, we've also, that's not going to drive us mad going over there. What else have we got in here? So there is our USB-C charger in here as well. Nice, yeah, there you go. What else is there? I don't think there's anything else, is there? Oh, keeps going. Oh, there's a rubber case for it. Fantastic. That's a bit scary because I could have thrown that away then. But there is actually and I guess, sorry, I'm putting it that way. It's designed to go here as a diffuser. That's pretty cool. So I can still access all of my controls around the edges, but it's actually, and it is, see how that's lifted up slightly as well. There's a bit of a gap there, so it really is softening that light and just putting a nice diffuser on it. Pretty cool. That's easier to see it like that rather than me sort of pointing it straight at you, because you're obviously seeing yeah, overexposed. Right, I'm going to turn this off. Oh, and if you want to have a quick look at this and see what you think to the software side, go for it. We're going to get into the main attraction. We'll do a better kind of review on these individually. I just wanted to capture this as an unboxing before we got into it, because it always seems, it's beautiful, isn't it? You get a nice thing like this turn up. So, down here, let's open this up. Not quite sure which is going to be the best camera. Hey, that's smart. Really like this. So it all comes in a rigid hard case here, kind of cloth material. Really liking that. And let's have a look inside. Oh, okay, excellent. So I've got this center divider. Let me back that out a bit. We've got this center area here then, and then everything's fitted in nicely. I do really like this, because the beauty of these kind of cases is you know that you've got it with you, or you don't come away from site and think, there's a gap there, what have I left behind? So the actual frame itself then, do we need to take this out in a certain way? Excellent. Feels fantastic. Very nice and solid. I didn't appreciate that the actual foam bracket was just built into it then. That's pretty cool. And what I'm doing with this is I just adjust this here, and that will let me drop my phone into it. And has it? Yes, it has. There's always a concern with these kind of brackets is, will it be pressing your buttons down, the power button and things? But it isn't. It's got the clamp is grooved in there. He says it isn't. Actually, that's catching it. So I'm going to need to be careful of that. That's a slight shame. Sometimes on these brackets on here, there's a ridge so that it's not touching your volume buttons and things. This one is actually, it's not pressing the volume one, interestingly, but I think that was just catching the power button at the top as I slid that across. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's a slight shame, because I would have wanted to move the camera along to this center position, and in order to do that, it means we're actually catching it. I've got this back to front actually, haven't I? Just a second. Let's pop it that way in. Is it still the same? If anyone from SmallRig is watching, they're probably going, what are you doing with that thing? No, it is still hitting that. So I need to cancel that before that sends that off and we have the police turn up. Yeah, so it is slightly touching on the controls. So I've got to push that right out of the way. Do you see what I'm saying there? It's actually pressing in on the buttons on the side here when I slide it in. I was hoping that might have been a bit more of a groove in there. All right. Just means my camera is there rather than nearer to the center here. I can't think of a way to move that. If you know of anything, let me know. Come back to me on that if it's something you've solved and worked out yourself. But that's as far as I can move it over without it touching on there. Okay, now I'm not holding it like this because I did spot over here we've got a couple of handles. And I don't know if you saw on the front of the box, they were using it this way around with handles. Well, this way around. I really want to be using it in this landscape. We want to be able to shoot this way. So I think I can just slide these in. I'm going to go with the top one. Okay, that feels good. Love it. God, I got a whole box full of goodies here. I was just going to say nice and simple to put together, and then I struggled to do it. What am I doing wrong? That lines up with there. Come on. The other side went super easy. There it is. Wow. Okay. So now maybe that doesn't feel as bad that the camera's over here, because I've got a lot more width to this. So there is a little tripod in here as well on a small stand. That's really nice, and that would be very useful aside from this to be able to use. Cool. And we do love these. We must have about 4 of these little SmallRig tripod heads on the go, and we did just go, oh wow, we get another one of these quick release plates. Super useful. Soap School said, looks heavy, and that often the problem when holding them for any length of time. Yes and no. Well, let's say first of all that doesn't feel heavy. I think the opposite in a sense, because if I'm trying to hold this little light phone, that's harder for me to get some balance on. And actually, I'm welcoming a bit of weight because I think it will help it to just, for me to keep that a bit steadier, if that makes sense. And what I plan to do is when I'm shooting with this, I can kind of tuck this in my sides here, so it isn't actually going to be feeling too bad. But yeah, good point. So what have we got in here? There is a light and there is a SmallRig microphone. I didn't even realize SmallRig did mics. Look at that little thing. Fantastic. And then a windshield over the front. So then we get a bracket for the microphone. We're just going to quickly slide these in. So there are different spots on here, little cold tune mounts that we could put this into. Or indeed, there is a thread at the bottom. So if I wanted it to go straight onto the top, I could use one of these little male-to-male threads on there. I'm just going to pop it in here for now. So it is a complete kit. What I was thinking of doing was using a wireless Micro Rode Go. So again, that would just slot straight in the top of there in that same plate, and through an adapter that would plug in. So either way, either option I've got there. This a critical little part. Oh, what's this one? Okay, it's just an adapter. If I wanted to put another one on the top of here, then I could do, and actually instead of threading that in, that gives me another cold tune mount that I could put basically anywhere on here. I'm sure in this little box will be some screws. Probably should have opened that up. Can't get into the thing. There it is. There's loads in here. Oh, perfect. I was actually about to order one. I've got one of these sitting in my Amazon basket to get myself another little adapter here. That's perfect, really is. So, yeah, 2 different phone cable connectors there. USB-C, or, well, I guess that's probably if I was, no, you wouldn't have a tablet. But either way, I got a headphone plus a power. So we can connect this in. So that would go into there, and then I would use a cable as a little dead cat. Not really a dead cat, a windshield, I should say. Yeah, adapters then for my microphones and things. Power lead. So what we're thinking of doing is using this, which is a holder, a cradle for, well, it could be for anything really, a phone. We're going to use this for a power bank is the idea. So we can attach this to the front of here, and we can actually have a power bank that's working on here. So it will be feeding power to the phone, and to the light, which we haven't attached yet. And potentially, if we were going to use the Rode Go, it could be feeding power to that as well. So we do just need to have a look what would be the best option for that. What do we do with this one then? So that's a brightness control on there. And I'm thinking, hey, that's clever. I love this sort of the simple designs really. So there's just one wheel on the back of this. And when I rotate it once, it changes the temperature warm to cool. When I press it in, I now adjust it and it adjusts the brightness of it. That's really cool. And I think Owen mentioned that this is... No, actually, it's not this one, is it? Do we know what the power on this light is? No, we'll have to have a look at that. But there it is in its... So, microphone attached through here. And I'm ready to go now with my filming rig. I think that's really comfortable. We could... Somebody mentioned... about it being heavy there. We could actually attach this to a stand. So, will it let me very quickly do this? I know I should be taking the quick release plate off and tightening it up. I just want to demo it. So I could be shooting with this thing folded down. It would allow me to take it, and if I wanted to change over and hand hold it at the bottom, or it gives me another angle. But when I get to a point where maybe partway through this shoot, we want to be able to stand it down, we could do so and let it sit there at the side. So yeah, everything's been thought of. It's all in this complete kit. So our plan is we're going to be... I can't get the thing off now, can I? The arrow in. Can I pass this over a sec? The plan is we're going to be there it is, sorry, doing this as a live show, and so someone's going to be running the live stream. Well, Owen's going to be running the live stream at one location, and then we've got a presenter who's going to be running around, and so this is going to be absolutely perfect. That I'm going to be coming in as a guest into that Ecamm feed, and so the main camera will all be happening over here, and me just coming through as a guest, as a feed, microphone coming through, everything powered, lights and that on here. It's about an hour's show, and we just wanted to make sure we'd got a good setup, and I think I'm really happy with this. I think that feels really good. It's going to be perfect for the job, and yeah, what do you think? Everything's there, all the tools and everything, all the cables. That's a real bonus, just getting things like this. Normally this comes through and I've got to go off and buy something else. The only thing I need to get, and maybe that would have been a nice extra. I mean, this was, what did we pay? £125 for this. The only thing I'm missing that I do need to get is a power adapter for it. I mean, I'm looking at about £20 for a power adapter. That might have been quite nice to have bundled in with it and, you know, just added that extra £20 to it. Then I really have got everything all in one box here. I don't now have to have an extra power adapter. But yeah, fantastic. Love the case. Love how that all fits together in there. I've got to see if I can get it all put back in, but really impressed with this. Owen, what have you found out with this light then? Fantastic. So we've got this set on here. So what Owen's done is he's set this up on his phone. So actually we can control this from the app. So how do I... turn this? So we save that as a preset then. Okay. Wow, genius. So it wasn't, I was thinking this wasn't on. There's a little brightness control along the bottom, so you can completely do this remotely. If my thumb would pick up on it. That's me trying to do it on a bit of an angle there. Right. I tell you what, I'll stand it here and I'll do it this way around, making a right meal out of it. So there we go. We adjust the brightness up and down on here. And we can also adjust if we want to adjust the color temperature, just going from a very cool light to a very warm light. And then also there's an RGB slider on here as well. How do I put that into? Okay, we need to go into RGB at the top. Oh wow, there's a whole load of color cards in here, or effects. We can have a lightning effect going on by the looks of it. And some control over that. Fire truck. So there's a whole load of presets that are already in there that you can have a look at and use if you want, or you can just use the RGB. And with this wheel on the front here, you can adjust that to wherever you want. Really nice. So that could be really useful. This is, again, part of what we were saying with this setup when I reached out. You know, this is, I'm not going to want a red light on here pointing down, but actually with these things as small and portable as they are, to just be able to pop this on a shelf somewhere in the background there and have some light coming in, yeah, fantastic. Really, this will be really useful. And again, let's report back at the end of this and tell you quite how well we got on with it. But really liking that, liking the app on here. So this light was £68. Yeah, we'll have some fun. And this one was between 3 and 16 hours battery life. So depending on, obviously, the percentage of brightness that you've got on there, even on full brightness, this would be great for us to be able to have as a second light somewhere on set, just shining a bit of colour in, a bit of interest. But yeah, I'll be interested in your thoughts in the comments if you've got any questions. Even if you haven't caught this on the live, you know, please comment away afterwards. Ask us any questions about it. And we've got this project coming up on the 16th of Feb, a few weeks away now. So when we've done that, we will absolutely do a debrief and a report back and say how we got on, how this worked, how it worked coming in as a guest into Ecamm and using it that way around. Yeah, I just think this is going to be the perfect combination, and really excited to have a go with all this and put it through its paces. So yeah, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you in another video. All the best. Bye.